My name is Laura Cook, and we are volunteers who are making clothing protectors for the veterans. We have got material with men's ties, and we are sewing these and putting snaps on them, and the veterans love them. Quilt supplies us with the material. It's a quilted fabric. It's the same on both sides. However, we had a problem with being able to finish the sides of it without having ties, so they decided they'd rather have snaps. So we get bolts of material, sometimes 9 to 16 yards or 11, somewhere along in there. And so my husband and Grace's husband cuts them out, and then the first step then after they're cut out is we take a man's tie, just a regular man's tie, and we pin it on, cut off the top to it. Then we take the second piece to it and we put that on. Those are sewn together, and some of the ladies right here, there's one that's sewing them together right here. And then as soon as they're sewn together, these two ladies are sewing with the tie on the inside. So now when they get through sewing that together, they leave a space, and then we clip them, and we clip the curves around so that and snip off the corners so that we're able to turn that and have a nice finish. And as soon as they're turned, these ladies over here actually turn it right side out, and then they cut take the corners and make sure they're nice and sharp, and they'll make this opening here. That's how they turn it. One's being turned right there. She's getting this one turned. You're in the movies. Thank you. Then they go back to this lady is actually going to top stitch them. And you can see she's got a stack here that hasn't been stitched yet. The tie's on, it's all turned, and then she just top stitches it. She's doing the finishing touch to that. Then once they've been finished and top stitched, they look like this. And then my husband has a snap setting machine, and we have industrial snaps that he puts on, and then they go to the veterans. And this is a finished product right here.
So are you taking donations for ties?
We're taking donations for ties. We are always looking for people who would like to sew them together or would like to come and help on a sew day. We have been invited here today, and I think there's like 10 of us that are here, and we are just doing it in an assembly line so that you don't have to do the whole thing, but if you'd like to just come and snip or turn or sew ties on or pin ties on or any of the process, we'd be glad to have that. But also, if you have people who have a quilting guild together and you would like to do the whole process, we will supply all the material for you to do this. We will supply the material, the template to cut it out, and the threads to sew them together. And we're ready then to add another group. There are 200 men at the Veterans Home. Each meal takes 200 ties, 3 meals a day. One day's clothing protectors is 600. We are just now finishing halfway. We will have 300 finished when we get this shipment that we have now. We're ready to start on this second half. So you can see it's a monumental task, but once we get these made, they should last forever, literally forever.
And this is the Veterans Home in Cameron?
This is the Veterans Home in Cameron. And I also know that the state officials from the Veterans Home were there and saw them and said, "Oh, we'd love to have these in all our Veterans Home." And I said, "Don't look at me." But there are going to be other people. My daughter actually belongs to a quilt guild down by Fort Leonard Wood. They are taking on the St. James Veterans Home. We just shipped a template and some material to them, and they're getting started on the St. James facility. So, but these could go anywhere, and we appreciate everybody's help.
So we'll be doing this again, so they can kind of keep an eye out on our bulletins.
Yes, and if you'll watch the bulletins, we'll supply. And I also want to say that the Veterans Home is so appreciative. They're going to do an appreciation dinner in May for us, and everybody who's helped in any way, whether you've donated ties or you've run an ad in the paper or whatever you've done to help, you will be invited to that luncheon, and they will have some entertainment and some kind of an award for us for being so generous to do this.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and thanks to all the volunteers.
Oh yes, thank you everybody.
Roberta Robertson.
Alice, Pat Hall,
Susan Lynch, Laura Cook,
Sandy Ryder, so be it.
Amber Jackson, Vera Sager, Hazel Woody,
Grace Daniels.
Virginia Lampion, Rose Hamer,